Hey guys, how's it going? Hey, last summer I was going around yard sailing and I came across a older property that had this Honda outboard on it, 4-stroke, and there was a woman running the yard sale. I think it might have been her parents' house they were clearing out. I just don't quite remember. It was been in there for a long time, she said, and really knew nothing about it. I opened up the gas cap, it smelled real bad. I asked her what she wanted for. I think she said 30 and I said 20, or I paid 30, somewhere between there, 20 and 30 bucks. Got it as is, don't know much more about it than that. And of course, wintertime came along before I got to go through it. I figured now would be as good a time as ever, as it is springtime, and that's when it's got the most value. So let's get it out of this garage. We'll bring it into the big garage and see if we can bring it back to life. What do you say? All right, well, at some point we got to put it in the water, but until we get it functioning, I'm not going to worry about that. We'll work a little bit more comfortably up in the air. The anode. Not sure what year it is. You see that tag? I'm guessing 80s. Has that kind of look to it. 4-stroke, fuel shut off. I'm sure there's got to be an oil check and oil fill somewhere on it. See if you can see a horsepower rating on it too. That's probably oil right there. I don't see anything in it. Yeah, it's not sitting level. Let's go pop you in the stand. And we'll get the cover off of it. Still looking for a horsepower rating. Maybe on the inside. Hey, what do you think? This tab right here? Some mice come jumping out of it. That didn't do it. Oh yeah, it did. Looks like the gas cap's gotta come off. Guess it's permanently attached to the pull start. That say in the middle. That might tell us right there. You guys, get your glasses on because I can't see. No, I still don't see anything. Just how to start the engine. Oh, yeah, I don't know if you might as well get a better whiff. See what's happening inside here. Nice that it's got its own gas tank. Actually, it smells better than I remember. Let's go see what else. Make sure everything moves. Fuel line's pretty petrified. Feels like that hasn't turned in a while. I'm almost tempted to pop a little bit of fuel in it, see what we get. Let's get the plug out of it. Pull her over a couple of times. Let's get that plug out of there. See what that looks like. They look carbony. Have a large gap too, it looks like. As long as it sparks, I guess it doesn't matter. Let's go. See if we can figure out a way to make that happen. That's all plastic. Probably up by the pull start maybe. And do we have an on-off switch that we have to have on? Yeah. Put it where start is. It's got a stop button. It's a momentary switch though, so that should work for us. Let's see if we could wrestle that pull start cover. So, that is really slow turning. That's got a lot of drag on it. We are going to dump a little bit of oil down the cylinder and lubricate that that has no compression on it, but yet it's turning very hard. I don't really see a way around that pull start, so we're actually going to go cut the knot off of it, and we can redo that when we put it all back together, as long as I don't lose the pull start into the pull start, right? There we go. That'll make us fight it less. Don't let go. Yeah, just got to throw a loop in it. We're going to have to undo this one later, but for now, that should hold it. Now let's go get some oil and shoot it in there. This is just motor oil. Let's go give that a piston all the way up. It might have a funky combustion chamber. There it goes. That's better. Yeah, it was fighting us pretty good. That's more like it. Alright, see if we got spark now, huh? Oh yeah. Good. That's the most expensive parts we know work. You want to dump a little bit of fuel in it? Actually, you know what? Let's go check out the crankcase, make sure we got oil in that. Yeah, I leveled it. I would think that would be a sight window for the oil. And it's got a dipstick on it. See if you get anything. Could have been laying on its side too and everything ran out of it. Yeah, I'm not seeing. I'll wipe that down and get another check. Go shine a light in there. How's that? A peek? We should probably just run it out anyway. There is oil in it. Hold on one sec. Let me get you there. There's oil in it, but it's looking kind of cloudy. You see? That might be too much light for you. How's that? We should probably drain that out. Do you see a drain? We just want to tip it on its side. And we'll just tip that on its side. And I think it's just, what did it say it was? Just 1030. Good, that's nothing fancy. Yeah, let's go dump that out and we'll refill it just so we know we got a good start. Plus we'll get a good idea what's in there. Fortunately, I kind of like to run them a little bit to get the crap kicked up before you change it, but maybe we'll do it twice. What's a hold? A pint? Let's see how much of a mess this is gonna make trying to hold it. Where is it? There it is. Actually not too bad. It looked worse when I looked down the hole. I wouldn't exactly say that's a ton of oil coming out of there though, huh? That's it. Yeah, she's a little low. Wonder why it was so hard to turn over. It was bone dry. Let's go put her back in the stand and put some fresh stuff in it. Okay, you let me know when it gets halfway across there. It's supposed to be springtime. Go turn the heat on. Trying to turn the heat on. It's 49 degrees in here. Like perfect boating weather, huh? What do you think it holds? I don't know if that exactly is level neither, is it? Go with that. Still not showing. It's already 3 times the amount that came out. Come on. Watch, that has nothing to do with it. It's filled to the top already. I do see little lines on it though. I would figure that's the window for it. But it did have a dipstick. Let's go. What did I say? Yeah. All right, well, that must not be a sight glass. Oops. Yeah. Guess that has nothing to do with it, huh? I don't know what that would be. I don't have an owner's manual. Well, the other thing I could think of is to see coolant going by, you know, like from the water getting sucked through. Either that or it just filled right up past it and you guys didn't tell me. You know what happened? Yeah, it's very light to see, but the oil level is right there. You can see it in that one. A hair over. Let's give a couple of tugs on it now that it's got the crankcase at the right level on. You would think for a Honda that it wouldn't be a start and go. What I mean by a start and go, it doesn't have forward, neutral, or reverse. You start it up and it's going. I wonder if it's got a clutch in it. No, it's direct. Makes it a little bit less of a motor because you can't start it up and warm it up and kind of stay still. It's as soon as you give her, she's going, you know. And for reverse, you just spin the motor around backwards on the transom. I want to be able to get water in it, but it is still kind of cool out. We could probably take the prop off of it, and we could run it maybe in the garage. You know, if you take the prop right off, so it's not trying to push all the water out of it, I don't think it aids in pushing the water through. I think it just sucks it in through, I think there or there. Yeah, that's the oil for the bottom end. Probably check that at some point too. Wonder if this was used in salt water. Maybe that's why it's got the sacrificial lamb up there. Yeah, let's get that prop right off of there. We'll take that cotter key out. As you say, over the pond. Split pin. I'm still going to say cotter key over here though. It's a plastic prop. Let's get that out of the way. Bet you that's stainless. I think that shear pin is bent. It's about ready to break. Well, it's not going to fall out of there. We'll leave it alone for now. There is a spare up top. I saw there's a little right here is a spare cotter key and a spare pin. Hope if I show you, right? I think I kicked out a spider out of his little hiding spot. Him and his friends are having a rude awakening. Did you ever get the strange feeling that you're going to be washing the garage floor today? Yeah. I'd say we go maybe shoot a little bit of fuel down the plug hole, give her a couple of fires and see if she fires over. See if we can go from there. Let's give this a shot. A little two-stroke fuel. Start it up, starts knocking away like crazy. So I would think this is probably a kicker. Actually, now that I'm starting to bring it up, I think they said it was on a sailboat. Generally sailboats are what's called a long shaft. You go down the water deeper. I don't know if that's the case with this. Can only be one size too, right? We getting far enough? There's a joke there. Alright. Whoever that is, I need to talk to you later. I think we are good enough. We stand back a little bit so you get the bucket and everything in. Let's see what we get. No choke. We'll give it. We'll put the starter where it says start, and we'll give her a couple of yanks, huh? Oh yeah, water pump pumps too. But I think we're gonna have a little bit of a problem having that water go back down into that bucket. Want to put another one next to it? We'll catch it. I don't know how that's gonna work out for us. Runs. You think that'll work? That's the P trajectory going into there. And I don't know how long we're gonna get out of that bucket running where it sucks out of water too. I'm tossed between just maybe opening the top of the carb and looking down inside of it, or if it was run out of fuel, I wonder if we just leave it alone altogether. Maybe just put some fuel in it and see what we get. That's probably the thought process I'm going for. It's not really going to hurt too much if, you know, we just make stuff wet, right? So, yeah, why don't we put some fuel in it, see if we can get it to prime up and get it to run on its own before we take a hole that we don't need to take. If it runs and idles and does everything it should, then we'll just deal with that, you know, maybe servicing the bottom end and cleaning up the top and call it a win. I think we're getting ahead of ourselves though. Let's put some gas in it. And this is some premix, so if it smokes a little, that's fine. I don't mind doing that for the first run of stuff. Don't mind the sandy container, as long as the sand doesn't go inside, we're good. I think we'll call that good enough for now. I don't know if we can, does it have a primer button? I don't see one. It's just on. We just want to give her a couple of yanks and see if that'll work for us. If not, we'll put a little bit of fuel in it, in the plug hole again, and give it a fire. And that should be enough to suck it through. I don't think it has a fuel pump, but let's back you up again. We'll get the full P effect, right? Is that a thing? Let's go and just give her a couple of yanks. How's that? And then it died. Did it die? Gas is on. Let's give it another shot. It's running good though. Well, see if the kill button works. Yeehaw! I love Honda stuff. Yeah, they must have ran it out of fuel. I would have swore that I smelled, when I was there, I kind of smelled like bad gas. But is that not the case? So I'm not going to bother even opening up that carb. I turned the ultrasonic cleaner on for nothing. I don't see any leaks on anything. Yeehaw. It's 4-stroke, so the water's not getting all kind of contaminated because it's really not pushing anything out of the exhaust that's nasty, you know. Nice little motor. Yes, it's a motor, not an engine. It's actually both, right? Alright, let me regroup and figure out what I want to do. Well, I'd say we take a minute and kind of spray down some WD and clean off some of the crap that's on it. Make it look pretty. Make it look like how it runs, right? I think what we'll do is we'll take the bottom end gear oil and we'll deal with that. We'll check that. What they have on the bottom where the prop is, I'll show you in a minute, is a fill, because it's a gearbox. There's, you know, changes direction down below. So there's a gearbox that's down there, and sometimes, especially if the motor sits in water, this one probably didn't, but they'll have a tendency to draw water in. So what you do is you change the gear oil out and the water sits on top of the oil. I think that's the way it works. So you push it in from the bottom. There's a fill and a drain, but it's opposite what you think. You actually, the drain and the fill is the same hole. You drain it out and then you put a bottle in the bottom and you push it till it comes out of the top hole. And what that does, it gets any trapped air, because you're filling it from the bottom up, not from the top down. And just like any gearbox, once it runs out of the top hole, then it's that's the fill level. And again, with this one, I'm guessing that it might have been running salt water. Just has that kind of look to it, a little bit more corrosion than you would see on something that was in fresh water. I'm trying to think where I got it. We're only 10 miles from the ocean, but we've got a bunch of ponds around us too and lakes. So if it was on a sailboat, unless it was up on like Lake Winnipesaukee, there's generally, you don't find sailboats on the smaller lakes here. There's just not enough room for them. All right, that's enough screwing around with that. I say we get it out of the bucket. We'll get the bucket out of the way. This ought to be fun. Let's go get. You think that lever on the seat will work? Where is it? Of course not. Yeah. Before I dump that whole thing, I'm going to lift the motor off of that and get that bucket out of there. As this is the bottom end, these are the two plugs I was talking about. Get the drain pan clear. Let's see if we can get them out. Try to get an idea what we got. You have to take the top one out for it to get it to run. Kind of like holding you. Can you hold your thumb over a straw? Bite on it. There it goes. Yeah, it's looking a little milky. And it's a little more cruddy than it should, so it's good that we're doing it. You can tell a little bit of moisture or water got in there. Not enough where I would feel that we would need to change the seal, because usually water would come in through here. That little tiny tear right there. Might be. Might have to change that seal after all. You see it? I'm gonna get some glasses on and take a better look at that. I don't know if it's focused on what's behind it or hard to tell with this camera. Let's give her a backdrop. There you go. Let that run for a few minutes. Yum. Baby poo. Now that's like a little hair hanging off, a little hair of plastic hanging off the face of the seal. It wasn't, I was afraid it got tore out of the middle, but it's not. I'm not gonna worry about that. I wonder if the back of the prop just kind of anything rubbed up against that. I don't see anything. Looks like it stays away from the seal pretty far, right? Yeah. Okay, that pin touches there. I'm not gonna worry about it. I wouldn't say that's terrible. You can tell there's a little bit of water that got in there. There's also a bunch of air pumped in it too from running it, you know. It got kind of blended up. We'll let that sit. So now I got to get a gear oil bottle, and I'm going to put the, like I was talking about earlier, put the gear oil bottle in there. You squeeze it till it starts coming out of the top, so that kind of, it fills up the whole gear case. If you try pouring it in from the top, sometimes air will get trapped in it and you get a false reading that it's full, so that's why you fill it from the bottom. And I think it might push any contaminants out too. I'm not quite positive of that though. So let me go see what I can find and we'll get that done. Let's see how this is going to work for us. We're going to need those, preferably without a piece of grass stuck to it. And let's see if that tip is there. We go. See the air bubbles coming out of it? Alright. So we're gonna go, make sure it's got a little bit of positive pressure on it. And like I said, it's like holding your finger over a straw. You take it out, you drink it, it wants to stay. So we're gonna go put that in. Get that out of there. And you can get that one in. And that's it. Pretty simple. Probably the first time this has been done in, I don't know, we're gonna call this an 80s machine, so 90s to 2000s, and then the 19s, probably 30 years. It's probably about 30 years old. One of you guys have probably already looked it up and already know what it is. I don't. I think I'm gonna leave that bent shear pin in there. It already has a spare up and top. I guess we have a grease fitting. Let's go get you out of the stand. We got a grease fitting here. We'll give that a shot. That's just for the coupler. And this is drag. This is more or less tension, so that when you're turning the outboard, it stays in position. You can get, lock it to where you want, or if you want less drag on it, you want to be able to turn it easier, you just back that off and it should be easier to spin. We're gonna go hit that with a grease gun, and it's probably the last point. It doesn't have an air filter. Outboards generally do not have air filters because they run in clean. That's got a bowl drain. We should probably pop that bowl drain out too. Why not? Oh, if I show you what I'm looking at, right? It's got a bowl drain right there we can get to. They don't run air filters, just like snow blowers don't run air filters too. They're just, you're running out on the lake, the air is generally a clean environment. Doesn't have much of an issue with, how much dust is on a lake. So let me go grab a grease gun. Let me get that bowl out of the way before I knock that on the floor. Probably should have marine lube, but it's getting what I got right now. Good enough. Let's see what pushed out of it. Yeah, that wasn't marine lube anyway, that was in there, just regular grease. Let's go turn that fuel shut off. And we'll get that bowl drain out of it. Again, I told you I put 2-stroke gas in it, so it's going to be dark in color. I just want to see if we get a lot of crap with it too, though. Is that not? How can Honda not be 10mm? Oh yeah, it is. Sandwiches so they can catch in the cup. I got some dirt, but I think I got the dirt just from the crap that was on the screw and washing out of the socket. Show you what I mean. A little bit of dirt that's floating around in there. Let's go dump that out. We'll turn the fuel on. We'll let it go flush its way through again and see if it just kind of comes through clean. That's pretty clean. Let's go see. You want to pee? Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Yeah, clean enough where I don't feel like tearing it apart. I see a little hint of something. I'll do it one more time. You see that little fine particles? Could rinse that out one more time. Maybe I'll take some carb clean and clean the glass. That might have been just some stuff that was washed off the outside of it, you know. These little speckles. Yeah, I'd like to take it to the camp and run it on the pond, but ice just got off the pond not that long ago. I don't know how well I feel about going out in a canoe. I have a friend that I think he's looking for one of these, so he's probably gonna buy it off me. Probably be good on the back of the Beaver, but I think for the Beaver I want to get an electric motor. Beaver is that little amphibious vehicle I did last year, for those who don't know. Let that stop. Yeah, I think we're fine. I think we're gonna leave it well enough alone. We'll just put that drain plug back in. And clean that plug. Looks fine. I can go get a new one, but there's no wear on that at all. I thought there was at first. Back in it goes. So the other damage I see is a small crack in the plastic missing here and right here. Probably from getting, taken off the back and thrown into a truck, and it looks like there's a piece missing here. And that doesn't have any issues with its functionality. It's got the spare pins. I'm not going to worry about changing them, because then you won't have a spare. Unless I put the bent one back in, but I have a feeling if I try straightening that bent one out, I'll probably end up breaking it. Yeah, so we'll leave that alone. Didn't even need the choke to start. Started without the choke. What do you want to do? Anything else to it? I think it's pretty good. It would probably undo that pull start. We'll put that cover back on. Maybe we'll put the buckets under it one more time. We'll fire it up and put the gas on, then we'll turn the gas off and let it just run out of gas. And I can just dump what's in the tank back out of it. But I think it's going to be going to a new home fairly shortly. Again, I wish it was a little bit warmer. We'd bring it down to the pond and run it around, but I'm too cold for that right now. Just spray that cover down a little bit before we put it back on. I think that's the exhaust side. Think that's the exhaust side, or you think that's where it sat when not in use? They didn't drain the gas out of it, and it leaked and took the paint off. That's probably more what it is, because the exhaust goes down below, right? So I think we need another rag. I think we need paper towels. Yeah, quite fond of the Honda stuff. Honda snowblowers, got the Honda tractor, Honda bikes. I don't have any Honda cars. I don't think I ever did. No. More of a Toyota fan, even the old stuff. I'd like to get what am I? We're gonna call it childhood, youth. We'll call it youth, not childhood. I guess when you're 19 and 20, you're not a child. Although sometimes I'm accused of being a child now. But I had a 73 Toyota Celica ST. What a fun little car that was. It was the, I think the 240Z's Toyota's version of a sports car. Essentially, it was a fancy Corolla. It had an 18RC. Worked on plenty of Honda stuff. Honda cars at the time. Alright. That pull star through there and put that back on. Speaking of Honda, got new brake shoes for that. I'm not going to do a video on it, but I just want to do some brake shoes. Is the last thing that's kind of missing. Let's see if we can do that pull start without losing it. Just start on me. Little safety. Me and knots don't get along very well, in case you don't know. We need to not use wire cutters. To undo it so we can get a little bit of pair of pliers. That tightened itself right up. We might use wire cutters. Alright. That pull start is officially 2 inches shorter. Alright, let's get that back through the cover. And put our handle back in. Tie a knot. Then we gotta hit it a little bit of heat. The heat kind of melts the knot a little bit and locks it down. Let's go give her a little bit of torch time. Make sure there's some gas around it. So. Kind of keeps it from getting undone. Voila! Took the gas cap off to get it off. I'm not sure if it needs to or not. Let's see if we can wiggle our way in. I just got a tether in the front. I think that is it. Now that's it. Good. Gas on. Let's go throw that water back underneath it. We'll fire it up one more time. Alright, we need our receiver pail. A little bit more in this one we can dump. So we'll fire it up, and then we'll turn the gas off, let it run out of gas. We'll try it no choke. No choke in the start position. See what we get. done. Well, it's not really much more to do other than if I had the capacity of going for a boat ride, but that's not going to happen. So I think we're going to go sign her off. I'm going to throw the prop back on it and call it a day. That was too easy. The last two were really easy. That was the bus motor that fired right up, and this guy too. I was hoping for, actually kind of hoping for a better fight. Be careful what I wish for. The next one's really going to suck, right? So, alright guys, with that, I'm going to go sign off. I want to thank you all for hanging out in the garage with me, doing some wrenching. And until the next one, we'll see you later. Bye. It's getting ready to lose its ID tag. Not much, yeah, wasn't much holding that. Let me go give that a quick little clean. Some Fix All super glue. Let's go. And a little bit of poop right in that area. Come on out. Throw a little bit on the back of the tag. Now, was it like that or was it like that? I think it was like that. Glue my fingers to it. All right. Somebody does not like getting a bath. The true Lily? Like smelling all the friends that were here before you though, huh? Is there other places that you would rather be than in there right now? Aren't you a lab? Aren't you supposed to like water? No? Feel better now? You look better. I know it's hot in here now, huh? You're fogging up the glass. Say goodbye to the people. Alright. I think you got enough pets up in there and getting washed, but you want a little more. All done. All done? All done. $390. That would be a good motor for it, huh? Yep, cool setup. Nice line.